Hey everyone, it's Book Crazy Katie, and today's video is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, chapters 1 through 4 reactions, and there's spoilers included. Please find me on social media at the following.
Hey everybody! I'm here today to talk about the first 4 chapters of Harry Potter, and I have to let you guys know, so far I'm really enjoying the book, and we're gonna hop into it. So I was really surprised. I didn't know what perspective to expect this in, and a lot of times books for younger readers tend to be in first person. So I was really surprised when the book opened up. It's written in third person, which I personally usually prefer in books, and that it did not open with Harry Potter right at the start. You don't get him at his current age, and I was really surprised for it to start off with his uncle as the person that was being focused on at first, his uncle and aunt. And so that threw me off a little bit, but I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying the backstory. And not too long ago, I actually read Nevermore by Jessica Townsend, like the week before I started Harry Potter. And both Morgan Crow and Harry Potter, I just kind of want to like take them and like whisk them away and protect them because they have experienced horrible things and are not treated well by the people around them. So both of them I felt really sorry for, and just don't like the idea of kids being treated wrong. And then these are my notes that I have just on the first chapter. Like, I was definitely blown away. I have characters that were introduced in the first chapter. One of these tabs is entirely that. And then some of them I have terms down, so are like things that are supposed to appear within Harry Potter quite a bit. Like owls, I'm still not quite sure what their significance is yet. I know like Book Roast has the owls exam, so I know that there's some kind of examination that happens after every year of schooling at Hogwarts, but I don't know that much about it. And then I got the Put Outer, which Dumbledore, I think it was Dumbledore that used it to shut down the streetlights in the neighborhood. And I think that's in his uncle and aunt's neighborhood when they did that, but I could be incorrect on that one. And then what? I'm blinding myself. I got something hollow. I think it says Godric's Hollow. I have the flash on my camera, so it's blinding me as I'm looking at you guys. And then oh, that's where Harry Potter's parents lived. And let's see, do I have anything else? Oh yeah, so I've never really watched the movies. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I did not realize that Harry Potter was supposed to have a lightning strike scar on his head. I was really confused by it, and even when I said something to my boyfriend about it, he's like, yeah, it's in the movies. And it's like, well, I didn't watch the movies, so I don't know. So there are things about Harry Potter I know because everybody reads Harry Potter and everybody talks about it and everybody watched the movie. But there are also things that I don't know, and apparently Harry Potter having a lightning bolt scar is one of those things. And I don't know if Voldemort caused it to happen or if the whole skirmish with Voldemort attacking him and his parents and then whatever power Harry Potter is supposed to possess caused it to happen, but it's pretty cool, you know? And then I was just kind of amazed that I understand why Dumbledore wanted Harry Potter to grow up kind of normally and not grow up knowing that he's famous and let all that stuff get to his head probably. However, I feel like once they were aware of the situation he was being brought up in, maybe they should have tried to place him somewhere else or brought him to the school sooner. And so I'm really curious to see what their reasoning for not rescuing Harry at a younger age than 11 was, because he dealt with a lot of problems with his family and was ignored and being locked into the cupboard under the stairs and being made to do all the like chores around the house and stuff all the time, and just not really being treated as one of the family. And so the characters, we're gonna go through them real quick. I did not like Petunia and her husband Vernon, I think his name is. The Dudleys, they're horrible people. And then in chapter 1, the son is little, so you don't know that much about him. And other than the fact that him and Harry Potter are very similar in age, I think Dudley is slightly older than Harry, but not by much. Lily and James Potter are Harry Potter's parents. They sound like they were pretty powerful, distinguished wizards themselves, and unfortunately Voldemort came after them. Voldemort is the big evil. You just know that he disappeared and that he had killed Harry Potter's parents, and that he tried to kill Harry Potter himself and failed, and that's when he disappeared. So, Mrs. McGonagall, I think her name is, the professor at Hogwarts, and don't know that much about her, don't have real opinions of her. She just wasn't sure if Dumbledore's decision to send Harry Potter to go live with his aunt and uncle was the correct one, and that's how it gets explained that he wants Harry Potter to lead somewhat of a normal life for a while. And Hagrid. And in the first chapter, you don't hear that much about him. Like, you just know that he takes Harry Potter to his aunt and uncle's house. And when he pops up in, what is it, chapter 4, I believe, I really enjoy Hagrid so far, and I can't wait to see. I'm curious why he got kicked out of Hogwarts and is now just like the groundskeeper, why he can't practice magic, and I wonder if Voldemort had anything to do with like the reasons that he got expelled from school, or if he just struggled so much with magic. And so it'll be interesting to see like what his circumstances are. I don't doubt that he is a good guy character. It's just, I don't know if he has been under the influence, because they mentioned how many people that were under Voldemort's like spell or like were following him and had turned bad. They kind of reverted back to normal once he disappeared, so it'll be interesting to see what the circumstances were around that. And in chapter 2, I have less notes. Like chapter 1, I wrote down a bunch, but there's not really any new characters in chapter 2. Other than like, if you want to talk about Pierce, whatever his name, I wanted to say Pierce Bronson, but I know that's not the kid's last name. Dudley's best friend, I think, makes his appearance. I think he is in chapter 2. I think this is the one where they celebrate Dudley's birthday and go to the zoo. And that scene at the zoo was amazing. I like the snake cage disappearing for the boa constrictor, and Harry Potter just interacting with the snake and interpreting the snake's feelings based on the conversation he was having. And the snake's not talking, obviously, but still, it's definitely reacting to what Harry Potter's saying, and it was pretty cool. Since for a long time I've known that Harry Potter was locked under the cupboard and wasn't really treated like the family, I was really surprised to learn that Harry Potter had been being sent to school all these years, and I really didn't think that they would have, like, brought him outside of the house ever. I just thought that, but I guess it's a children's book, and they weren't trying to make, like, the abused and neglected side too horrible, I guess. Like, it's still freaking terrible, you know, but I think they were trying to keep it pretty PC on that. But I was really surprised that he wasn't just like always in the house and always stuck like living in his little cupboard. He got to go out sometimes even though his life still sucked. I decided that Dudley was a spoiled brat, and he's a brat, and like, he should not have been able to treat Harry that way, like, his parent, but then again, his parents shouldn't have been treating Harry that way, and he just was raised, treated Harry like he was a pet versus a disliked pet on top of it, because I feel like if they had a dog or a cat, they would have treated the dog or cat better than they treated Harry Potter, but he was just treated as something that was, pawn scum or something and didn't deserve any respect, and that's the way they did, and they just created this little fat fuck that was a brat, Sorry for the cursing. Oh yeah, and then they talk about Harry's getting a haircut and why it constantly grew. And it actually gets explained a little later on, and I can't remember if it's in chapter 4 or chapter 5. And I'm actually going to restart chapter 5 because I feel like I was getting interrupted a lot and was having a hard time focusing, so I just want to start it over and make sure that I'm getting the most from the experience and know what's going on. So I wanted to film this too before I picked up reading at all. I had company on Friday and Saturday and had stuff to do Saturday night, and so I didn't really have time to read earlier in the weekend. It's Sunday now, and I thought about trying to read while I was at home yesterday, but I wanted to get this first 4 chapters filmed, and I think it would have been better, It's better for me to film this before I know too much more about the book, so that way I'm not spoiling myself, and some of the things that I have thoughts on might be answered, and I didn't want to have that destroyed at all. But I didn't feel like there were any new characters in this that really needed to be mentioned. Like I said, there is Dudley's friend. I don't even know how much more of Harry Potter's aunt, uncle, and cousin we're going to even see in the book or the series. Maybe some flashbacks, but I don't know if he's going to see them during present or future time anymore, but I guess we'll find out, or I'll find out. You guys probably already know. Many of you have probably read Harry Potter before, and I don't know. Oh, there we go. I have my 4th chapter one. Or my 3rd chapter one. Ah. Okay, so this chapter is the chapter where the letters start appealing. Where the letter starts to show up to Harry Potter's house. And I was really surprised when it was addressed to him and it said under the cupboard, and then they moved to, and he didn't, then they moved into the next room and they knew that, and I'm just like, how did they know that he lived under the stairs? But it's a magical world, magical system, so this really had me at the why didn't they come rescue him sooner if they knew he was living under the stairs and that he was being treated the way he was being treated. And then I was very interested in why the Dursleys cared whether or not he went to Hogwarts, and I guess it gets answered a little bit. It seems that Petunia was very jealous of her sister and thought she was a freak, and I'm naming it as jealousy, even though Petunia doesn't say that she's jealous of Lily. Or that she was jealous of Lily. She just says that she thought her sister was a freak and didn't understand why her parents were so proud of her and all that stuff. So I don't know if she felt like she was ignored some, or if Hagrid does call both the Dursleys, or all the Dursleys muggles, but I wonder if Lily maybe had a little bit of magic, or not Lily, Petunia had a little bit of magic in her and just wasn't a good magician at all, or if she was just born without any magical abilities and really resented her sister for all the praise she got for her witchcraft. And then, of course, I was wondering because a man shows up at the house at the end of chapter 3, I believe, is how it went. I could be wrong. It might have happened in chapter 4. And I was just wondering who was sent to retrieve Harry Potter. And, of course, it was Hagrid. And I fell in love with him in the chapter that he shows up and is there to retrieve Harry Potter because he's just like, take charge, I'm getting this done, you're not gonna stop me, I came here to do something specific, and he's so protective and loyal to Dumbledore. Do not disrespect Dumbledore to Hagrid because he will take you out. And then chapter 4, the last of the chapters, that was for this week's reading. And let's see what I got real quick. And so I pretty much already said everything about chapter 4, which was pretty much why did Hagrid get kicked out of school, why did Petunia's jealousy of Lily, and just the fact that I liked Hagrid's loyalty to Dumbledore. So like I said, I'm enjoying this so far. I'm going to restart chapter 5 as soon as I get a chance. And next week I think I'm back with chapters 5 through 7. So that will be the next vlog. If any of you are reading along with me, is it your first time reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or have you read it before? What have you been thinking of the book so far? If it is your first time, my guess is if it's not your first time, chances are you liked it, unless, of course, you're reading it to give it another chance because you decided you didn't like it the first time you read it. But I hope you guys are enjoying, and I hope you guys have joined me with reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or the Philosopher's Stone as it is in the UK. And I hope you guys are really enjoying it. I so far am. It's pretty cool. And one thing that really strikes a chord with me is that when I first became familiar with this book, I was 11 years old. A teacher that I didn't like, and she didn't really care for me either, I had told me I was going to fail in the beginning of the year because I missed like 5 days of school in the first quarter. I ended up going on and missing a bunch of school. Had been the advanced reading teacher at my school, or like in the group that I was in, and she was my social science teacher, so I didn't have her for reading. They were reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and so that's the reason, pretty much the reason why I avoided this book for 20 years. And so, but one thing that really strikes me as interesting is that Harry Potter is the same age I was at that time. So around the time that the books were coming out, I was around Harry Potter's age, at least when the first book came out. And so it's kind of interesting for me to think about that, and maybe I would have drew some parallels and related to Harry Potter to an extent if I had read this when I was little, but I didn't. But I am enjoying it quite a bit, and can't wait to see what happens, and I hope I enjoy the rest of the book. I think I will. If you guys like this video, please thumbs up it. If you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and please ring the bell if you'd like to receive notifications about when I upload new videos. See you soon, and bye!